All right, welcome to our explainer. Today we're diving into a book that's basically been called the original user's manual for the human brain, Psycho-Cybernetics, by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. This thing is a classic for a reason. It's transformed athletes, executives, and just countless people by showing them how to steer their own mind toward any goal they want. So let's jump right in.
So, have you ever felt this way? You know, you're just stuck. You're gritting your teeth, pushing with all your might, using every single ounce of willpower you have, and you just cannot seem to break through that invisible wall. Could be a sales target, a bad habit, a personal goal, whatever it is, it's so frustrating, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing. According to Dr. Maltz, that feeling comes from using the wrong tool entirely. Yeah, you heard me. Willpower is not the answer. The real thing controlling your life is a hidden mechanism, a sort of internal blueprint that we all have. We're about to pull back the curtain on what it is, and more importantly, how you can actually use it. And hey, just so you know, this explainer is brought to you by AtomIExpert.com. That's Atom, AIXPERT.com. It was created by Amazon seller Adam Grabar, and it's really the place where serious sellers and AI learners come together. Stick around because a little later I'll tell you how you can get your hands on Adam's game-changing listing optimization report. All right, so let's get back to that hidden controller I was talking about.
So what is this secret blueprint, this hidden controller of your life? Well, Dr. Maltz was actually a plastic surgeon, and he didn't discover this in some fancy psychology lab. Nope, he found it right in his own operating room. He started noticing something fascinating. He'd give someone a new face, a technically perfect one, but their old personality, their old feelings of being not good enough, they just stayed put. And that observation, that led him to what might be one of the biggest psychological discoveries of its time, this self-image. Okay, so what is the self-image? It's basically your internal mental blueprint. It's the sum total of all the beliefs you hold about yourself. It's your personal concept of the sort of person I am. But here's the real kicker. Once a belief, any belief, gets lodged into this picture, your mind accepts it as the absolute truth. You don't even question it. You just act on it, automatically.
Maltz came up with this brilliant analogy to make it super clear. Think of your self-image like a thermostat on your wall. If you set that thermostat to 72 degrees, it works automatically behind the scenes to keep the room at exactly 72. Well, your self-image does the exact same thing for your performance, for your success. It has a set point, and it automatically controls you to keep you consistent with that picture you have of yourself.
And this right here is the whole ball game. Maltz states that you literally cannot act otherwise. This is why willpower fails. Think about it. You can't just will a room to be 80 degrees when the thermostat is set to 72, right? The system will always correct back. In the same way, you can't outperform your self-image for very long. You're always going to get pulled back to that setting.
Okay, so if the self-image is the thermostat, then what's actually doing the work? What's the air conditioner or the furnace here? Well, Maltz explains that every single one of us has a powerful built-in guidance system. He called it the creative mechanism, or the automatic success mechanism. And he actually borrowed this idea from the science of cybernetics, which is just the study of control and guidance systems, like in rockets and machines.
So this servo mechanism, as he calls it, is basically your brain and your entire nervous system working in tandem. It's a goal-seeking device. But listen, this is probably the most important part to get. It is completely and totally impersonal. You feed it a goal, and it automatically starts working to achieve it. It doesn't care if that goal is, I want to be a successful speaker, or I always fail at public speaking. It will work just as hard and just as faithfully to make you fail as it will to make you succeed. It just follows orders.
To really get a picture of this, think about a guided missile or a torpedo. It gets launched in the general direction of a target, but it uses constant feedback, positive and negative, to correct its course. It zigs and zags, constantly correcting, using its failures, the misses, to get closer and closer until, boom, target hit. Your brain, your nervous system, it works the exact same way. It uses feedback from your senses to automatically steer you toward whatever target you've given it. Okay, taking a quick pause here to remind you that this explainer is brought to you by the folks at AtomIExpert.com. You can join Atom's weekly live AI meetings where you'll find real-world tools and real-time learning. To get in on that, just shoot an email to atomexpert@gmail.com.
All right, so we've established we have this incredibly powerful built-in guidance system. But how do we actually program it? How do we give it the right targets? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, but also really profound. It's imagination. Imagination is the language that your automatic mechanism understands. It's how you give it the target picture.
Okay, this next part is maybe the most foundational principle in all of Psycho-Cybernetics. You really gotta let this one sink in. Here it is. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between an actual, real experience and an experience that you vividly imagine. This is why you get nervous just thinking about giving a speech, or why your mouth waters when you vividly imagine a lemon. That right there is the key to everything.
So what does this mean for you? It means you can use your imagination to mentally rehearse a successful sales call, a confident conversation, a perfect golf swing. By vividly picturing the outcome you want and, this is so important, feeling the emotions that go along with that success, you're literally creating synthetic memories, building new pathways in your brain, and programming your success machine to go out and make that picture a reality.
Okay, but there's a catch. Before you can build up that new, powerful self-image, you usually have to tear down the old one. Maltz argued that most of us are walking around in a kind of hypnotic trance, controlled by these false, negative beliefs we picked up somewhere in our past. These are the dragons we have to slay first.
So, I want you to really think about this for a second. Do any of these sound familiar? I can't do that. I'm just not worthy of it. Oh, I always mess things up. See, those aren't just thoughts. They're hypnotic suggestions that you've accepted as true. They program your failure mechanism, and your system automatically works to prove them right. The very first step to breaking out of this prison is just to recognize that you're in it, that you have, in fact, been hypnotized. The good news is, Maltz gives us a fantastic practical tool for this. You use your conscious, rational mind to challenge these beliefs. Basically, when one of those negative beliefs pops into your head, you don't just accept it. You put it on trial. Ask yourself, is there any rational reason for me to believe this? Could I possibly be mistaken here? And this one's a big one. Would I say this about a friend in the same situation? Probably not. So why on earth would you keep believing it and acting on it if there's no good reason to?
So as you start doing this, as you dehypnotize yourself from all that failure programming and start using your imagination for success, something really cool starts to happen. You start to develop this internal state, this feeling. Maltz called it the ultimate secret to success, the winning feeling.
Now, this isn't about being arrogant or cocky. Not at all. It's that quiet, deep-down confidence, that feeling that, yeah, things are going to work out. It's like the internal thermostat telling you your system is now set for success. It's not what causes the success, but it's the symptom. It's the proof that your internal machinery is lined up and ready to win.
And the best part? You don't have to wait for this feeling to just show up. You can actually generate it on purpose. The process is pretty simple. First, you've got to relax. You can't force this. Then, just search your memory for any past success. I don't care how small it is. Winning a spelling bee, getting a compliment, solving a tough problem. Really go back there. Relive that moment in as much detail as you can until you can actually feel that emotion of success right now. And then you take that feeling and you apply it to whatever goal you're working on right now.
So, if you take away just one thing, let it be this. Your past does not define your future. Your failures are just data points. That's it. They aren't who you are. The only thing that dictates your future is the self-image you hold right now. And through the tools of rational thought and vivid imagination, you are its architect, and you are in the driver's seat. We really hope this breakdown has given you a few new tools for your mental toolkit. It was brought to you by AtomIExpert.com. Remember, you can join Adam Grober's weekly live AI meetings where real-world tools meet real-time learning. And if you happen to be an Amazon seller, you can request his game-changing listing optimization report. To join the community or get that report, just email AtomIExpert@gmail.com.
You know, when you boil it all down, Psycho-Cybernetics leaves us with one really powerful question. We spend so much of our lives worrying about our reputation with other people, right? What they think of us. But the only opinion, the only reputation that truly programs our internal mechanism is the one we have with ourselves. So, after everything we've just talked about, what's yours going to be?